Hi, everybody. It's me, Benjamin Krudwig from the Design Time podcast, and this is another review episode. So, I am probably releasing about 4 reviews this weekend or early this week on yarns and books that I have received recently for review. Uh, this is not technically for review, but I decided that I would review it anyway because I liked the yarn. Um, so, why the heck not? I was recently asked, or I guess not recently, in June during TNNA, I was approached by Anzula Luxury Fibers. I have worked with their yarns before to work with their new yarn that they released this September called Gerty. It is a fingering or sock weight yarn. It's 100% American Targhee. There's the ball band. And it's 100% American Targhee. It's 390 yards, or about 356 meters, in a 4-ounce skein, and I am here to talk to you about it. So I have been on a little bit of a 100% American kick. I prefer American grown. I like helping, local communities, and even though they're out in California, I previously worked with Sincere Sheep, who's also out in California. I've worked with Shepherd's Lamb, who's down in New Mexico. I've worked with Brooklyn Tweed, which, they're out in Portland. So I've worked with multiple different companies who have produced 100% American yarns. I immediately jumped on the chance to work with the Targhee yarn because I've spun Targhee and I've knit with Targhee and I love it. Targhee is actually a hybrid sheep breed that was created in America. So this sheep was hybridized in, I think, maybe it was Wyoming. I think there's Targhee National Park. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, so they asked me if I wanted to do something with it. I said yes. I picked out 4 skeins of yarn to work with. I picked out 2 skeins of Sexy, a skein of Shiitake, and, I'm pulling it, a skein of black. So first, I knit up a shawl using Sexy and black, and really, the fabric is so squishy, and it's the crimp of the Targhee yarn, but it is next to the skin soft. So even, like, I do have sensitive neck skin, and every now and again, like, I feel like, oh man, this is a little itchy, but then it immediately goes away, and it's super, super soft and super squishy. It's also really warm. Being a sock weight yarn, it can be a more lightweight knitting yarn if you use, like a 5, 6, or a 7 in the US knitting needle sizes. But if you want it more dense, then I would do like a 4 or a 5, and it'll be nice and dense and hardy, but, I wanted to maximize yardage. I think that it holds its stitch definition really, really well, which is why I did both stockinette and textured and cables in this pattern. And I really liked knitting with the yarn. It's a very pleasurable knit. Going through your fingers, the yarn feels really good. And the other thing about it, so a lot of superwash yarns take dye really vividly, and I find that non-superwash wools are a little bit more muted, which I think definitely comes across in here. So like the black, or I guess here's the black, is a little bit more muted, more of a gray, and then Sexy is also variegated, um, and I don't know, it's also a little bit more muted. I don't have any duplicate colors with the other Anzula yarn that I own, so I couldn't really tell you if it's actually more muted or not. So if you do order some, if you go to, I think on the blog, if you look on their blog now, a few of us are reviewing the yarns, and mine comes up on September 14th. So check it out, and they'll have a list of retailers who will have the yarn. But if any of your local yarn shops have Anzula yarn, then they can special order it for you, the Targhee. So knitting it with it was divine. but I might have to say that weaving with it was even better. So I wove a scarf. It's kind of a houndstooth scarf. It's a 2-2 twill. It's about 10 inches wide, maybe 9 inches wide. And I loved how this turned out. The finished fabric after washing it and kind of lightly fulling it is really, really squishy. And like, you can feel it between your hands being super squishy. This is going to be a very warm scarf this winter. I doubt that I will ever feel a chill come through this fabric, which I'm okay with. Part of me is tempted to sew this into a vest, but I really don't want to cut into this fabric. So I might actually ask them for more and do another project with it. We'll see. I don't know if they'll want to, but I want to. I think that this is the squishiness of it and the rustic quality of it is just very, I don't know, delightful, and you don't always get that with yarns nowadays. So I would highly recommend picking up a few skeins of this if you can. If you want to get more information on the woven thing, the woven scarf, and the shawl that I made, check out episode 30. Episode number 30. Gosh, I had a dyslexic moment there. For more information, but I really, really recommend that yarn. Please go pick it up. And I will see you in the next review.